Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mulder, and I've been invited on the first show for Equus Radionics with your future host, Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth, aka Horse Lady. How are you doing this fine day?
I'm doing very well.
Oh, and today we have the wonderful Dr. Liz. She decided to clean up for this episode, and she really did a great job. Yeah, she's out there doing her thing. Got a makeover. I'm not going to say
Someone has to around here.
Yeah, sure as hell. I don't need one. But anyway, no. Anyway, we're invited here, Horse Lady, to discuss radionics with you and this new site that everybody's working in conjunction with Equus Radionics, and it's EQUUS, Equus Radionics. I guess really how this all got started was you had contacted me and you had some horses that were not really performing up to par and they needed some help. And we did a couple of experiments with these horses, and within 24 to 48 hours, they would basically either recover or well on the way to recovery for whatever the situation was. Could you kind of give some examples right off the bat? I mean, you don't have to name the horses or anything, but just some of the.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We've built confidence into riders. We've built confidence into horses. We have worked extensively on trials. Some of them were blind trials. Some of them were trials that the people knew about. A horse was having a problem settling into a barn. So we worked with that horse, and that horse within 24 hours was more settled and more calm. Mm-hmm. And we actually have a video of that I'll probably add to this video.
Right.
We've also worked on dogs, calming them down, getting them to stop barking. My one dog wasn't feeling that well. We put a machine on him. And I want to stress that this is not we can't cure any horses of ailments, but we can help them perform to their best ability. Mm-hmm. So if whatever problem you're having, if you just explain it to me, there'll be an option where you can have a consultation with me. And I would, you would explain the problem. I probably would need a picture of the horse and a video of the horse. And then I can either set a box or Dr. Mulder can set a box, and then we would send it out to you. Mm-hmm. And we've had great success. Our trials have proven themselves. The only one that failed was the horse that cribbed. We could not make it stop cribbing. Mm-hmm. It's cribbing less, but we could not make it stop cribbing.
Maybe more long-term work could help that, though, I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but have you noticed an improvement in the horse's behavior? I mean, you said it's cribbing less. I don't even know what cribbing means. I'm not really
chewing wood, chewing fencing and stuff.
Oh,
they kind of put their mouth on metal or wood. And
munch it
hard and suck in air.
Okay, I gotcha.
And that can cause them to colic. So, but she's doing it less, but it hasn't disappeared. Mm-hmm.
But from you guys need to tell me about that. I can work on that horse.
Yeah, but
we'll talk.
Behaviorally, you can't totally extinguish a habit, but maybe you could replace it with something else. Do you agree, Dr. Liz?
You know horses better than I do, but I know that I feel like anything's possible, right? So something could go, I work with humans mostly and some animals. Sometimes things can go entirely. You can have an entire energetic healing that leads to behavior change. But I mean, I think it's better to err on the side of caution and not promise like, we're not lassoing the moon for people, but it's really good you can begin this work and really help the horses and the rider, help their professionalism and help their performance.
Right.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
help them get nerves of steel.
Nerves of steel, help them get, I
Right.
said, yes, absolutely. We can talk about me later, but the work I do, absolutely.
We had a horse that we did a trial on, and it was a blind trial.
Mhm.
And the rider was not confident to go up in the jumpers then to the next level.
Right.
And so without her knowing, I put a machine on her and the horse and just to boost their confidence.
Right.
And they did the future prix and they were third overall, which is amazing because she had never jumped that height for him. And it was a meter
That's fantastic.
35. It was a meter 35, but some of the jumps, I mean, they were set like high. Some of the
Mhm.
jumps were a meter 40. So the
Wow,
horse had never
wow.
competed at that level before.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That's
amazing. I mean, we've done amazing things with
Wow.
the machine. We've been doing trials constantly. Like Dr. Mulder doesn't even know some of the trials that I've done because I just hear like if a friend calls and says that, there's a problem, I just put a box on them.
Do some
Yep.
dialing.
Yeah, these are what the
Mhm.
boxes look like. And these are specially made for horses. Dr. Mulder, why don't you take over?
Well, basically when I put the thing together, it's sort of like another model that I provide, but this one was made specifically for the equine community, and concerning horse behavior and that, or animal behavior, that kind of a thing. And because of that, I had to some of the components in there I have to specially manufacture and specially charge with that intent of helping animals. And so it's a little bit of a time consuming type of operation, and whenever I do this. But basically, other than that, it operates just like any other radionics device. And I think this another thing we'll probably have to delve into is what exactly is radionics and how do they operate. And so uh, I don't know. Do you think now's the time to kind of go into more detail about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Basically, radionics has been around for, I would say, over 100 years. And it's sort of a little known technology that, it's been kind of kept under wraps. Originally, when it was designed, it was designed by a famous doctor out in California back around, oh, I think it was around 1912, 1915, somewhere in that neighborhood. And anyway, he was using it for health purposes, in other words, to cure his patients. And because of that, the FDA, whatever the American Medical Association was at that time, a lot of he was getting a lot of problems from from the powers that be when it comes to the medical field, and they were accusing him of medical quackery. And as a result of that, this technology kind of went underground, and it was being used by a lot of chiropractors, that kind of a thing. And then it was picked up again by a gentleman. His name was Hieronymus, and he's sort of the godfather or the father of modern radionics. And what he had one of the few patents concerning this technology, and he did a lot of experimentation and concerning a lot of different things. Matter of fact, he's most famous for working with NASA during the Apollo moon missions, where he was able to get the find out the vitals for the astronauts from on Earth with no communication, such as any kind of monitors of the astronauts, any kind of radio messages or anything like that. He was simply taking this machine and working remotely. He was able to pick up, heart rate, blood pressure, things like that from these astronauts. And again, they were, hundreds of thousands of miles away from the planet. And that's kind of like his claim to fame, or sort of the legend behind it. But what we have noticed is through a lot of experimentation from a lot of people that I've met with and I've worked with, that these machines can be used for anything. They can be used for regular everyday life situations, animal behavior, which is what we're doing right now, all kinds of things, financial relationships, whatever. And so, and I developed a one machine that I've sold, I sell through a good friend of mine, and we sold them all around the world. And basically, that's what it does. We kind of coined the phrase the wishing machine. And what it means is you're able to project your intent into the machine, tune it for whatever that intent is, and just like you would a regular old time analog radio. And as a result of that, for whatever reason, your consciousness interfaces with this machine with that intent, and it projects it into reality, into the fabric of reality, and it's sort of a hack into reality. Now, where this comes in with the horses, we're using the same technology, but it's focused specifically on their behavior and in other circumstances that horses go through, like you were talking about the was it would you say the cropping or whatever,
Cribbing.
cribbing, and so this is just something, like it's just to alter animal behavior. And and what we've noticed is, again, you've done blind studies, and with people, they didn't even know that particular animal, what you were trying to do to it, but they were able to notice the results without knowing the cause of those results. But basically, in a nutshell, if somebody was to ask me 25 words or less, okay, what the heck is this stuff? I would say basically it is a mind machine. It interfaces human consciousness with technology, and as a result, is able to hack into reality and kind of twist it or turn it to that particular intent. And that is basically, I think, the best way to explain it. Hopefully, I did a good job doing that, or reasonable job doing that. I know Liz probably has a lot more to say about this than I do, and she can do a lot more eloquently than I can. But anyway, that's my opinion. That's what I think.
Okay. And do you want to tell a story about something you've done, not with horses?
Oh, sure. I like this one because this directly affects Dr. Liz. Um, as she likes to tell everybody now, she's a officer in the United States military, and she was deployed to Kuwait. And I'm a little bit of a practical joker, and I decided
He's a brat.
I'm a brat. I
Yeah.
know. Hey, she's Liz is one of my closest friends, and I like messing with her. And so what I what I did, she was your military base was what, out in the middle of the desert, right? I mean, you're
Pretty,
close to Kuwait City.
Kuwait's a desert, yes.
Yeah, you're just okay. And so what I decided to do was mess with the weather. And anyway, I tuned the machine to kind of have some abnormal type weather conditions at her location. And as a result of that, what did you have, like a major hailstorm or something close to the
Yes,
base?
it shut down operations. Thank you very much.
And that's my way of saying thank
You couldn't help out with the Daesh or ISIS or anything, but you had to make bad weather.
I know, but hey, weren't you there for the snowstorm back in the year 2017?
You sent the snowstorm back then. I thought that's what you were talking about.
I know.
And recently you sent like a rainstorm. It was like a sandstorm where sand comes down wet on the rain. Like you're not getting rained on, you're getting sanded on.
This is my way of
and your hair starts to stick up straight, like a Medusa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that. It took you about a month or so before you got back.
Wash the sand out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you very much. Yes.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
I've been working on my hair ever since to fix it.
Oh, yeah. What can I say? But no, yeah, that's one of the things I really enjoy messing with weather. I just find that very funny, and it's very simple to do. And it's just an example of something that
I actually like to help people, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I do that too from time to time.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can tell like a story. But I can't really give any names here or whatever, but I'll give you an example. I mean, this is something that was kind of a human. It was sort of a life and death situation. I have a client who's also a good friend of mine, who had a brother in south of the border, and heard through the grapevine that apparently there was a person who's involved in human trafficking. It was a very nasty individual, and she found out that her brother was going to be kidnapped, or they're planning on kidnapping her brother and holding him ransom because she works in the States, and they figured she had money and that kind of a thing. And so she said, hey, is there anything you can do to help? I mean, I need to protect him. You know, he's down there, you know, we got the police, yeah, but they're not going to do anything, you know. And I said, sure, let me see what I can do. So we went ahead. The first thing to do was to get her brother out of harm's way. So I set up the machine for him to be protected and all that good stuff. And out of the blue, within 24 hours, he decided he was going to move away from that location. Didn't tell anybody he was going to do it. Didn't give an explanation as to why he was going to do it, but he moved away from that area where these human traffickers, kidnappers knew that he would be located, and he's in a safe location. Everything's fine, and to this day, you know, no harm's come to him. They haven't contacted him, but that was something that I thought was very interesting, and apparently the person involved, the ringleader or one of the ringleaders involved in this, is under a lot of she's having a lot of difficulty in his life. Things have not worked out well for this person afterwards, because I decided to do my best to try to eliminate that situation so it wouldn't happen to anybody else. And so that's just a little side story. That's some of the things I've worked on. And again, I've never been south of the border. I've never, you know, didn't know any of these people personally. All I had to work with was a name, a picture, and a location, and that's it. That's all I had to work with. And so I was able to create that kind of effect remotely doing this. Um, and I think we were just kind of discussing, okay, what's the physics behind this? Okay, if a scientist was to say, hey, Dr. Mulder, yeah, this sounds like a bunch of tomfoolery here. I don't know, what have you got? How does this thing work? What kind of actual science can you tie this into to say, okay, this is the premise behind it, and this is something, you know, that's out there that, you know, a regular scientist or a physicist would say, well, I may not agree with how you're doing it, but I agree with the premise behind it. And I think the one of the big things I like to preach is the double slit experiment, and you can find videos all over YouTube about this. And basically, what the double slit experiment proves is that by observing something or measuring something, you change the way it reacts. In other words, when physical things are not observed or measured, they behave like energy. But when they are observed or measured, they go back to behaving like material things again. Like
Yeah, another way to say that is the wave function collapses into
Mhm.
particles, right?
Correct.
So, and when you're observing a thing, the wave function, the potential of electrons or whatever you're looking at, they're actually doing it with molecules now. It
Mhm.
collapses the wave function into particles, into particle or material reality. So yeah, I like it. It's like God mind, you know,
Exactly.
very
And
cool.
exactly. And what these machines are basically, they're like observers or measurers of a
Right.
particular part of your reality.
And
And
you're
so
like, you're like the observer. You're like God with the machines in a way too.
exactly. And this is not anti-religious or anything like that.
No, no.
All we're doing is just showing it's just a technology that works with the human mind and is able to make it do things that most people think are incredible or impossible.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
and you've set some machines for me.
correct.
How many machines have I bought now?
Uh, you were one of my best customers. I would say you have in your possession what, 10, 12, maybe 15, something like that.
Probably 15.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, and every one of them, I guess, is working on something. I know that you majority of them you're working on animals and working on horses with, and also, you know, like a few. I think you one of the first ones I got for you, I think, was for finances or something to help with your business. And at the time, you know, things were kind of slow, and all of a sudden, booey, you know, you got things started picking up there and what have you. So that was one of the, I think that's one of the first operations we worked on. And like I said, when I found out that you know, how, what you did in the equine community, I thought, okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. And because what impressed me was the value that some of these horses, like in these shows, race horses or whatever, what they're, you know, the value of these animals. I could not get over that. That just blew my mind how much, you know, how big this community really is. And, and so that really kind of inspired me to investigate it more. And the more I learn about it, the more I find there's a lot of potential here where people can really, you know, enhance the performance of their animals and really get them to do things they thought they never could do. I mean, I'm not saying you could take some horse that's ready for the glue factory, quote unquote, and turn it into secretariat, but I think that you can improve the 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 performance of an animal that you have now. You can make
Right,
it better. Hmm.
right. And you've also used the machine, you also set machines for me for other purposes.
Right, right. Yeah, the finances and that kind of thing.
And what happened when we set the finance machine?
I think you sold some horses. Am I correct? Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
I think I sold 6 ponies and horses in a week.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that was something that was kind of like went from, oh, it's a slow time, slow period, and all of a sudden, boom. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never sold that many in a month,
Ah,
let alone a week.
Well,
So,
that's
yeah,
why I get paid the big bucks.
that's why
Oh,
you,
you do. You get paid the big bucks. Gotcha.
yeah. But we do this, I mean, this can be used for bad purposes, but we do this to help the animals and to help the riders and to help people.
Yes.
Right. And we don't do it to harm any animals. It's just to help them increase their potential. Right. And the performance of the sport, because the horses enjoy the performance as well.
Mhm.
And so it's not to cause, you know, cause any abuse or any harm to the animals or push them too far, in my understanding, right? It's just
Right,
to help advance their performance and the performance of the rider.
right.
Mhm.
And um and all the trials that we did, we noticed a trend. The trend was that horses are actually more sensitive than people.
Mhm.
And so they react faster to these machines. You
Yeah.
usually get
Right.
results within 24 to 72 hours.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
they're more connected to who they really are. They're really in the horse sense, where we humans, in our egos, we get all screwed up and messed up. But horses are horses.
Right,
I think animals are simpler and more directly connected to their own horseness or their dogness.
right.
That's a made up term, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think that it's easier for them because they're just more real in a way.
I mean,
Yeah.
the dog we set the machine on to stop barking, he's she's sleeping right here. Normally when I'm on the phone,
Yeah.
she's barking, she's trying to get my attention, she's jumping on me. She's on the couch sleeping like a baby.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just really amazing what can be done here. And I don't know if I really want to. Yeah, what the heck? Let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm looking at the potential of these machines in horse races,
yes. We're gonna do
and
that. We're gonna do that.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
right now,
we wouldn't pick the underdog.
no, I would pick the one that has the best chance of winning. Is what
Right.
I would do, even though the odds would be lower. What we're looking for, even I don't care if the odds are 1,000 to 1. If the horse is not going to win, why do you want to bet on it? What's the logic behind
Well,
that?
that's like trying to win the lottery, right? And pushing against all that energy, right?
And we're
Exactly.
not gamblers. We're not doing this to gamble or to bet.
And
We're
again,
do-
it's not to cause like I want to say it's not to exploit the animals. It's to
No,
have
not
a
at
little
all.
fun, maybe make a little money, and again increase the performance, right?
Right.
Ex-
We just want to see, we haven't tested it on racehorses yet,
Mhm.
but we want to see, like we all want to take a day trip, all of us. I don't know where there's a racetrack, like close to all of us, but we want to go to a race and they have racing sheets. And we want to see if we can just increase the performance of the animal that's favored to win. And in addition, what else do you want to do, Dr. Mulder?
I would like to work on that first.
Okay, but we had other ideas.
um, hmm, well, I mean, yeah, we discussed it. Which one exactly are you referring to?
I'm referring to just the distraction technique on the
Oh,
other.
how we would do this? Oh, okay. Number one, what I would do, the horse that you want to win. Okay, this is my brain thinking. Horse that you want to win, you want to give it like that winning spirit, you know, like Secretariat, like you're the best of all that's there. You're gonna beat every horse that's there. You know you're full of fire. You know you're just ready to go. And the other horses, what you want to do is you want to project to them the intention of, oh, that filly back over at the pasture was really cute. As soon as I get done with this, I'm gonna go out and mount her. Or boy, I sure
Oh
could use it.
God.
I sure could.
Again, no harm to horses whatsoever.
Mutual pleasure there from my.
Horse
I'm
is gonna like spin around, turn around, and run the other way.
exactly. Or
But
think
not to
about
cause any
oh,
harm to the horses on the racetrack while they're
Yeah,
racing, but just
okay.
maybe slow them down a little bit.
yeah, or thinking, oh boy, I'm hungry. I sure could use a nice bag of oats right now. That kind of a thing. That's what you
I'd
want to
rather
do.
be in my stall.
Exactly.
Right.
What you're trying to do is just distract them. You have one that you have all fired up. The other ones you have docile. You make them docile and relax. And really, their heart's not in the game. Their heart's not in the race. So they don't really care about it. They have other things on their mind, and that's
And
all
this,
you're trying to do.
and this is a
Mhm.
day trip, and we're all gonna have machines, and we're gonna all look so bizarre.
Very strange.
Very strange. What are these people doing? I mean, I
Yeah.
think people are gonna come up to us and be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Well, it doesn't make any difference with this is the beauty behind all this radionic stuff
Right.
is it doesn't make any difference where the race is at. I mean, all we need is a
Right.
closed
We don't
circuit.
have to be at the race. We can even do the boxes in the car and leave them in the car.
Yeah, or for that matter, have a closed circuit TV of
Yeah.
the race, and all I need is a race sheet. Uh, Hopefully, like 1 or 2 days before the race takes place, I have a list of all the horses and with a picture and that kind of a thing, and then figure out okay which one has the best odds of winning, or which one do I want to win. We will just put it that way, and then work on that one to boost its spirit, make it a winner, and the rest of them have them thinking about other things.
Right.
It'd be
Have
interesting to
them
see
distracted.
if we set one box versus three boxes and see if the three boxes help push the horse over the top. I want to remind us that this is energy works. So, right, there's no space and time with energy works. So
Mhm.
we can set the boxes at home in the past
Mhm.
without even seeing the race sheet. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here, right?
Exactly.
There's actually been studies where you can pray for someone in the future for the past and show that they've been healed, but they haven't been prayed for yet. It's crazy stuff. That's all Dr. Dean Radin stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool stuff.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I mean, with this technology, you're right. Number one, distance is not a factor. That doesn't make any difference where it's at. I mean,
And time and space. Yeah, time and space. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it really doesn't
Yeah.
make any difference.
But the trip is fun. It's a fun idea. But
Yeah,
really,
it's a fun
to get
idea.
real
Yeah.
with the boxes.
Yeah,
Or we
exactly.
could get to the racetrack, set the boxes, leave them in the car.
With the boxes,
Not-
setting them.
Oh yeah, what is it? Louisville? Is that where they have the race where all the ladies are wearing the funny hats and all the
Belmont,
guys?
the three races, Belmont, the Preakness,
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby is the biggest.
Kentucky
Kentucky
Derby.
Derby, the Belmont.
We should go there. We should
Oh.
absolutely go there. I'd love to get a fancy hat. I'll get a fancy hat for Dr. Liz.
Have a mint julep. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do they drink? Their bourbon.
Oh yeah, they're bourbon drinkers.
The
The
Yeah.
Kentucky Bourbon, man. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
But I wanted to say the horse that I worked on to boost the confidence, I didn't want the horse to win. I just wanted the horse to jump around clear
Mhm.
without knocking over any poles and give the rider the confidence at that 1.40 meter fence. And it worked. And I'm
What
gonna
impressed me. Oh, sorry.
Go
Go ahead,
ahead.
hon.
no,
When
go
you,
ahead.
when you told me that the horse that you wanted to settle at the last jump, not get overexcited and mess the last jump up, that was really impressive.
Right.
They could make the round and not mess up the last one and settle and then, party later, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
because you're like, I got this. But in your head, you don't have it yet, not until you
Right.
get over that last jump.
Right.
And the courses are set like the higher you get, the harder the horses are the harder the courses are set. And also during the year in each division, the courses are set harder as they go. So they become more technical. And it's very, when you get to like a meter 40, a meter 45, a meter 50, you're talking like a meter 50 is like an Olympic sized jump, like a meter 50, I think, to a meter 60. And the horse has to have a ton of confidence. And this particular horse did not like to touch the jumps. Okay, so he was a very careful horse. He's catty and he's very careful. So sorry, my phones are going off. So anyway, so I just wanted to boost his confidence, and it's amazing that they were third overall. Like, I wasn't looking for the win. I was just looking for just getting them around the course.
Right. And the horse builds confidence for future performances, right?
Right. Yes.
It's like anything, like I work with dogs or even humans, you know, if you get them that confidence, they can perform next time too, and better and better and better.
Right. And in, like, we were talking about horse racing, but in my horse world, which is the top circuit, these animals are all amazing. And you have to be perfect. You have to be dead on. And so you have to have a great eye. So we could set a machine to boost. When I say a good eye, I mean you have to know where to put the horse to jump from for the arc over the jump. And we could also do the same thing. We can, the one that we want to win, we can set a box for. And the ones that we want to, like, we can make them less competitive than that horse. And
you can set a box for a rider too, to have full on confidence. I know we're going to get to the riders, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, that I've done that.
Yeah,
I've actually done that. And then I've told the trainer, and they're like, oh my God. They're like, how did that work? Like, what's going on? Like, what did you do?
Like, never mind. Don't hurt yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not witchcraft. It's not like anything like that. It's just like physics on steroids.
It's just focused intention, really, using a box. How I like to describe it. So I do all kinds of other spiritual work with candles and other things like energy work. But the box is fascinating because it's almost like setting a ceremony to run 24/7. So instead of lighting, let's say you light a candle and you do a prayer, an invocation, and the candle goes out and what have you, but you set that box and it's there till you set it again or forever. I have boxes. I don't change them all the time. I let them brew, but I don't change them all the time. But you can just set it, it's running 24/7. And so it's kind of like running a ceremony or an invocation or a prayer. Like Catholics go to a church and light a little vote of candles to pray for Aunt Mabel who passed on, or for their child to do well in school. This is like that on steroids. So that's another way I explain it. Yeah.
Right. Dr. Liz, do you want to explain what you do?
Yeah. So Dr. Mulder and I became partners.
In conjunction with the box?
I am. So if you guys haven't noticed, Beth is like coaching us to say the right stuff. I got you, girl. I got it. So Dr. Mulder and I realized a long time ago, we became buddies when I bought a box from him because I was like down to $218. I just left a fiance and went to my asshole family. Oops, sorry. Anyway, so blah, blah, blah. But he helped me out and the box helped out. And like now I'm like, it's a pretty awesome life. But so we realized that Dr. Mulder has always said that the most important part of the machine is the operator. And that's where I come in because I help hone the operator. That is the person setting the machine. So like, honestly, if you're a hot mess or you've been traumatized or stuff's been going on, you can still have a lot of success with the box, but how much better is if, you have a calm mind. I mean, the yogis, the seers of India talk about a settled mind loses all the fluctuation ripples of crazy egoic thoughts, so that if you're more settled, the more you are that's focused. So you're setting a more clear intention to the box, right? So, I mean, I know Dr. Mulder's going to explain it, but we put something here when you turn the dials and you move some stuff to here. This is the input plate, the output plate. But how much better if the operator is actually somewhat sane, right? Or like we have lost some trauma or, so that's where the work I come in. I'm a pastor, I'm a coach, I'm an intuitive consultant, an energy healer. I do all that shiz. And so I help the operator operate these more cleanly. And so a lot of times too, it's not just setting the box, but if someone's a hot mess, you know, frankly, we're all a hot mess sometimes. It's hard to settle. So you can set a box to do well on a horse. Even a rider can even set their own box if they wanted. But if they're a hot mess, but they have to work with their process with the kids and the parent, the ex, the spouse, or their whatever the traumas they have going on, or the bankruptcy, it can still kind of hinder you. It's like having hobbles on, or being hindered, or having blinders on. I'm doing horse analogies now. We did horses to kind of block them off. But if you can clear, well, I have been a horse person, not like you, but I've been a horse person. But it's like, if you can clear the mind of the rider or the horse or the operator of the machine and the boxes, we feel, Dr. Mulder and I feel, you have so much more success. So I help clean up, help heal the person. And I'm not doing the healing. The client is doing the healing. I'm just kind of like the coach, helping with certain things I do. So I do psychology. I'm a psychologist, basically, not trained in psychology, but pretty much almost as a counselor. How's that?
Yeah, I have gone to 10 years of therapy with a psychologist and a psychiatrist. And I did so because my son tragically died in an accident. And it's weighed heavily on me, and it's been difficult. And recently my father passed away. So I was going for 10 years. And when I met Dr. Liz, in 3 sessions, she did more than the 10 years of psychology that I had. And how do I explain it? Like, I go into like a meditative state. I mean, you have all different methods.
I have all panoply, but basically, as we live our lives, like I'm in my 50s, Dr. Mulder jokes I'm 86, so maybe I'm 86 today, but
you're only 85. I'm
only 85. Oh, thank you. So, but as we age, we have these traumas. It's the bankruptcy, it's the abuse, it's the betrayal, it's the injury, it's the death, there's stuff happens, right? And we say pain happens, but the suffering's optional, but many of us suffer. And so parts of the main personality, parts of us go, I'm out, this hurts, I'm out, right? And we dissociate, parts of us dissociate. So a lot of the work I do works on helping bring parts back so you can be more whole. And how good is that? Like, to be a horse performer, to be on a horse and getting around the stadium. I work with stadium jumpers, so I've seen that. That's just so freaking scary to me. Like, I can't even watch it. It's so scary to me. I helped him get over these jumps, but just the more whole and balanced you are, the more spot on, like you're more in the flow, as we say. You can flow and be mindful. You're not thinking of the trauma, the pain, the problem. You're not distracted by these crazy ripples of thought that run through you. So again, just becoming more whole. And so I bet, Beth, you'd imagine that you feel more whole now. In other words, you can actually more grounded. You can handle the shiz that comes down the pike better. I can see it in you. Like, instead of, you're much more grounded and balanced.
Right. When my father died, it felt like the rug was pulled out from under me. I had no safety net.
Right.
And so I didn't feel grounded. I felt like I was lost.
Right.
And you grounded me.
Well, and that's what my goal was. And honestly, like I said, I didn't do it. I was your coach. We worked together. You did.
Right. Yeah.
And so we do that with animals, and I've worked with animals. We do it with animals and people, riders, horses, people. I mean, even never mind riding, but isn't it nice to go home and be sane?
Yeah.
Valid point.
Dr. Mulder, do you want to show how to set a machine?
You would ask me. I really don't have.
Well, I could be your Vanna White. I could be your Vanna White.
Okay,
yeah.
And you could, and then you could explain what is, and I can point to the things, I know a little bit of this shiz too.
Yeah, she's probably better at this than I am.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you're pretty good.
Actually, Dr. Mulder set a machine on a pony.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? I want to set the machine on the pony, and I want to see if I get the same dial numbers as Dr. Mulder. And I was off only by one.
Yeah, she's talking to these dials, and they all have numbers on. There's a potentiometers, and you turn them. And back in the day, with the guy that the Hieronymus that Dr. Mulder was talking about earlier, he actually had codes where you diagnose, say, a problem in the liver, and you get the codes, and then it would tell you the codes to do the healing. A lot of us nowadays don't use the numbers anymore. We just turn the dials, but Dr. Mulder's going to explain that. I'm Vanna White today.
Yeah, you're Vanna White. Okay. All right. First off, I know we will have more detailed
Yes, exactly.
instructions on how to do this. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be like
make
an overview.
I'm gonna make a brochure that's gonna go in with
Perfect.
each box.
Perfect.
There you go.
And I'm also going to, if you buy one box, I'm going to give you a hat that's an Equus Radionics hat. And if you
Excellent.
buy more than one box, I'm gonna give you a show shirt with
Ooh,
just
nice.
Equus Radionics in the corner.
Nice.
Isn't
Very
that
nice.
nice? And for April, we're gonna have 10% off.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Well, very good. All
So
right.
how do we do this?
All right. First off, here's what you got to start with. I'm assuming that we're going to talk about a horse. We're going to have a
Okay.
horse that's apparently you want him to let's see, what's a good
Calm down.
calm down. Okay, there we go. There we go.
We
All
did
right,
that
you go.
with my horse.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I joked around. I said it's like we were giving the horse a giant horsey Prozac. I mean, just basically, you know, it's just basically just went really wild, and then like what 24, 48 hours later, he's very docile and just really, really pleasure to be with. It was just really calm rider or calm horse and all that.
Yeah,
Good
my
stuff.
horse had a big personality.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's a plus if you can use it correctly. That's a plus.
Right,
Right,
right.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh yeah. Um, so basically what you start out with is a picture of the horse, the name, and the intent. Say I want this horse to calm down in this particular scenario. All right, you're gonna have like I said, just basically 2 or 3 items. Okay, you're gonna put them on the copper plate, which Vanna is touching right now. The copper plate.
The
All
input
right.
plate.
Yes, the input plate. All right. What you will do is you will is 3 different ways of doing this, and I know it sounds a little woo woo, but it works. Okay, and there's a real reason why it does. Okay, the first one, which is the common one, is you would take your left hand, put it on the dial. It's going to be like you playing Twister. Dr. Liz trying to do all this. Yeah, you're gonna put your left hand on the dial, and you're gonna take your right hand, and you're gonna take your thumb or your finger. There you go.
Yeah, like that.
I want to say I like to buy a vial, Alex. I don't know. Anyway, okay.
But the dials all have to be set to 0 at first.
You
Yes,
turn them
they're
all to
all
0,
set to
and then you
0.
just, and this is basically works like it's a galvanic skin response, and it's kind of like a polygraph, and you'd feel a stick. Some people feel a tingle, I hear,
I
but you'd
feel a
feel
tingle.
the change. You'd feel it takes a little touch sometimes while you're turning the dial. And if you miss it on the way up, when the finger changes, when the sense changes, you'd stop dialing. Now, sometimes I go all the way past it and come back because I miss it because I want to be sure, but
Yeah.
then you stop,
No,
and
yeah.
then you go to the next dial, and you just feel
Keep
for the
going all the
stick.
way
Right.
through it.
And you do all of them.
And
And then
while
there you go.
And while you're doing this, you're thinking of the intent of the box.
Right. And you got the items here, the picture, the name.
Right.
I just don't know if I'll write out the intention. I'll write out
I-
the intention on a little paper or whatever you want to do.
I
Exactly.
concentrate on that.
Oh, spoken like a true prodigy. And so
I'm a
No.
good student.
yes, yes, Grasshopper, you are.
I am.
And so no, exactly right. You're gonna put all those items on there, and you're gonna take your right hand and use your finger. You go across the plate, and like she said, you're gonna get a
Like
response.
this, I do
And
this, but some people do
Exactly.
other ways.
Yeah, that's how I do it, and it just seems to work best for me.
But I need like total quiet and I need
Exactly.
just to concentrate on what I'm doing and the intent of the box.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's what I do. Like when I do these things, I'll just concentrate on the end results of what I'm trying to accomplish here. If it's the horse, I will have like in my mind's eye, the horse is in front of me here. What is the intent I want to project in that horse to calm him down? And I go through the operation and tune each dial to
Right.
for this horse to be the way I would like for him to be. And once he does that, and it's real simple again, you take the thing that represents the target only, which is the horse. You take that and you put that on the white plate. After
This
you
is
do,
the output plate.
correct, on the output plate.
Yes, grasshopper.
Yes, yes. And so, and then all you gotta do is turn it on and the LED will light up
And there's a light
and
here, but this one's not
it's
plugged
not
in, but
plugged
when you
in.
plug it in, a light will go on.
Yeah, light will go
There's
on.
a,
And
there's a plug, and it's actually, when you get the unit, it comes with all different types of plugs.
yeah, if it's going overseas, I will, yeah, what it is, it's like for the international customer, because they use a different type of electrical system that we do, and they have different receptacles, that kind of thing. And so if you're overseas, I will include a special power supply, which
Right.
you can
You can
immediately just
switch
pop
in.
in. Yeah, pop in whatever fits for your country, and you're in business. You don't have to buy like a special special converter or whatever, which normally they have to do. And I did that especially for the international customers. But yeah, for the regular customers inside the United States and Canada, I will include a power supply that will work, for the U.S. or Canada.
Like a little
And
package that comes.
yeah, exactly, and plus we'll
Yeah,
have
and you
directions.
don't have, you can lay it flat, you can sticky it to the wall, but I keep them in another room all stacked up.
Mhm.
And you can set it and forget it like a crock pot.
Exactly. That's what I do. I mean, I have like 100 machines that I just have, velcroed to a wall, and it's kind of like and I just leave them there. I had some operations that I set like about 3 or 4 years ago. I hadn't even touched because they're still working, and I figured, okay, everything's working as planned. Don't mess with it. Just let it alone. It's that important to me. And so, but yeah, that's really the simplest way of putting it, but we'll go into more detail step by step. We'll have to do a separate video for this, and
Right.
make it more. And another thing too, that we're going to do for our customers who we're going to be providing services where I can walk you through this,
Yeah.
give you like a little 15-minute tutorial, personalized over Zoom or what have you, and just
Or
make
we
sure
can
that,
set the machines for them
or yeah,
Right.
we can do that too.
and then
And
mail them out.
exactly. And we got plenty of different ways of working with you, because what we want to do is to guarantee that you have success with these machines, and that you're very comfortable with using them. And that if you have any questions, we will do our best to answer them, to your satisfaction. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish here. Because I look at the potential of revolutionizing the equine community with this technology is just phenomenal. I mean, I really see a major way of really turning this entire thing upside down. I mean, just
Yeah.
making it to the next level.
Right. And if someone wants me around, I can come in and help with performance and coaching on like professionalism and sports and things like that.
Like
Right.
like
Or
sports
fitness.
psychology.
Kind of like, again, I'm not a trained psychologist, but I could do sports support, sports psychology type things, and things about getting fit, and being helpful, just being fit and how to be ready to go, ready to be a
And
sportsman.
also you can do I can never pronounce it.
Reiki. Well, so I do about 20 different types of energy work. Reiki was like the first one, or I'm a Reiki master, but I do emotion code, emotion body code. I do quantum rewiring. Basically, it's all about working with people's minds, higher selves, to again bring their body parts and make sort of their parts of their psyche back to be whole.
And how could you work with the horses?
Oh, we can do that. We can do Reiki with horses from a distance, and because you can work with by proxy through the owner or directly with the animal. I can do emotion code, body code, and Reiki with horses over a distance. As a matter of fact, I can just text the owner like I'm done, check it out, or we can have the owner with the horse. So a lot of times people want a session live. A lot of times I just download it, and they download, I'll do a session at 4:00 for somebody, and there's a woman whose cat I'm treating. And so the cat's name's Midnight. And so I'll treat the cat twice a week, and then I'll just text her, and she goes, "Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's eating. Thank you." Whatever. It's an old cat she wants to keep alive. It's very sweet. But yes, we can do Reiki with animals. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us, Dr. Liz, how you work in conjunction with the box? You got muted.
So can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fine.
So what we could do is, like, let's say you guys set a box. Let's say you set it for a rider or a horse. I could also send some Reiki. I can also, or I can work in conjunction with the rider or the owner to work on their own, like where they are, where their heads are at. I could just do some intuitive consulting,
Right,
some
you
coaching,
do FaceTime.
sports, right? FaceTime and do some sports performance with them, or do some help with the horses as well. So I just feel like it's great to set the box, but also the one-on-one, the interpersonal stuff can be really helpful too, because this can help in a way, a rider or something subconsciously, right? But I can actually talk to the person and make their, make your, like when I talk to you, Beth, or to anybody else, I'm talking to your conscious self. And it also is comforting to kind of go, okay, I got this. I'm going to get on the horse. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do that. And you know what I mean? I'm going to try to be healthy. Here's how I'm going to get more sleep and stuff like that. Here's, I'm going to try to have a good eating regimen, good sleep regimen. We call it in the Army, we call it the performance triad.
Right.
Sleep,
Sleep
fitness,
is-
and nutrition.
Right.
Mhm.
Sleep is very important.
Sleep, fitness, and nutrition is
at
clear.
night.
If you're going to be a sports performer, I mean, yes. I mean, how isn't it great to be fit and work a horse as opposed to being
Right, but also
Slob on
if you
horse.
have a big competition the next day.
and just how to get
Help
ready, how
them
to get
sleep.
emotionally ready. You
Right.
say nerves of steel. How do you help someone have
Right.
nerves of steel and get out there and just kick ass, right?
Right.
Mhm.
All
And
right.
just like I have a concept of like owning the room, or you can own the ring. When you go in, you just freaking own it. You and the
Right. You
horse.
just walk in the winner.
Yep. I call it owning the room, owning the ring.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. You walk in the winner.
And you could do that with neurolinguistic programming. I do that, hypnosis. I mean, there's so many modalities, shamanic energy work kind of stuff. Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
It's
And
fun.
it sounds like
Yeah. Like, woo.
woo woo or
I know.
woo or something
But
like
you
that.
can testify.
No.
You can
Yeah, I
testify
can
that
totally
you feel
testify.
better.
I can totally testify to that.
I mean, basically my point is helping people feel better. So if you want to perform, if you want to be in a better relationship, what have you. Yeah.
Right. Dr. Mulder, do you have anything to add?
No, I think she covered it. But yeah, that's one thing. That's the beautiful thing about this technology is it works hand in hand with what Dr. Liz does.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, they play off of each other.
So for example, like he's always sending me clients or potential clients because somebody's freaking out about something. They're buying a box, but their minds are still freaking out. I mean, setting a
Mhm.
box, you can set a box to calm your mind, but sometimes, like I'm working with someone you sent to me. I have a client tomorrow, a blind client who's freaking out, has some paranormal activity in the house.
Mhm.
So we're going to work on that tomorrow. But that sometimes people are too unsettled to have rely on a box right away. Boxes can't help, but how nice it is to help the operator too. Like we
Yeah.
keep saying.
People question the box. Like this seems like,
Like
again,
wackadoodle woo woo. I know. Yeah.
yeah, right. But once you see the response,
Yeah.
I have a video of Shannon Shea. Her horse was having problems setting in, and I set a box without her knowing. And then I told her, and she's like, I wasn't sure about these boxes, but now that I've seen it, like she's
Yeah.
like,
And
amazing.
I also helped you with someone that you know, and how's she doing now? Right.
Yep.
We worked together and with some serious troubles, but now she's riding and working and more sane and whole, right?
Right.
I don't want to name her name because it's not my call to name someone's name, but it's really great.
I mean,
It's really an honor to do it too.
there's unlimited possibilities.
Correct.
you can
I
do
mean,
it.
and we're coming from the horse world, but by the way, again, for the rest of your life too.
Right. For the rest of your life. We can just work on people too.
Absolutely. I mean,
The
that's really,
box.
that's where I started on people, but
Right.
I
But the box
met
can work
met
on
you.
people too.
I met you and I started working with a cat person and a dog person and yourself.
Right.
Mm.
Okay, let's have some fun.
Okay.
Ah, ha, ha.
Ha,
Fun has arrived.
Oh,
ha.
by the way, Liz is a phenomenal card reader.
Yeah, and this we're just doing for fun right now.
This is just fun, everybody.
But
This soothes my soul too. It's just fun. I just have
If
fun.
you have
I have a tarot
questions-
channel. It's just freaking
if you
fun.
have questions like
Yeah.
I had asked you, is my son okay? And you read the cards and told me that
And was he? I mean,
right, he
I
was.
mean, it's
He
fun
was.
to get, to find out if it worked or if it's correct, corroboration. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, I have no horses now.
Okay. So
And
what's
I-
your question, my friend?
And I was traumatized by selling all of my horses, even
Yeah.
my own personal horses. So
Uh-huh.
I want to know, will I buy a personal horse in the future?
Okay, let's give me a time frame. You want to say next 6 months, the next 2 months? I'm thinking 3 months.
You think at
You're
3?
gonna have a
Okay.
horse- I think you're gonna have a horse within 3 months because you're not gonna be able to stand it.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna do a spread and I'll hold the cards up. I feel like I
Now,
feel like
Liz is already connected to me.
right. So we already worked together. So
Yeah.
all right, girl. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely you have the 9 of swords. It's definitely on your mind, but you're definitely a leader in the field of horses. Clearly, so oh my goodness, this is the recent past. So you have yes, there's a horse for you in the future, but oh my gosh, he's gonna be like I'm almost thinking like this, like a Frisian, you know.
I had a Frisian. I sold
Oh
him.
my heavens, so Brett doesn't even know. So you got the sun card. Oh my gosh. So totally yes. And it's gonna be, I'm thinking it's gonna be a gelding. Okay, maybe a stallion if you want. When it happens, it's gonna happen fast. Like it's gonna be kind of like you sell your ponies and horses, it's gonna be really fast. I'm thinking just a big honking loving gelding. Yep. So hold on a second. So but I think that I'm gonna be honest with you. So what's going on now? You have some harsher, more challenging cards. This is you being traumatized, the tower. Like, 'cause you just sold all your animals. That must be hugely traumatic. Like, I mean, this, if I were me, I'd be taking a Valium. I mean, because of, you know what I mean? And so, and
Yeah.
this is also the 8 of swords, which like, you're feeling trapped and stuck. Okay. So I would say as you heal and move through this, or I'm sorry, I can't do this on this. I'm really spazzy, but
You're good.
as you move through the troubles, as you heal, and I'm not trying to push my services, but as you heal that, I think the horse is coming. I think take some time to move through this loss. Like it's always good to heal a loss. Even when I work with people who are divorcing, I go, can you be alone for a year and not to go boffing everything inside? Can you just like be alone for a year and just settle and calm and feel better instead of running to the next thing? So instead of running to the next horse, if you take some time, meditate, pray. I know you do a lot of that kind of spiritual work. The horse will come to you.
A lot of spiritual work.
Yeah. So I'm saying in the next, you can tell me if I'm lying or not, but the next 3 months, I'm thinking of a dark gelding, a dark bay, black, you know, a big gelding, a big gelding.
Freaking me out because I was just laying in bed before. Sorry, I had a really bad sinus headache, and I was thinking that I would either like a black gelding or a blood bay.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love those colors.
And I don't
yeah.
normally pick horses by color. I pick.
I know. And the thing is, like,
I just was thinking that today.
But as the healing ends,
that is amazing.
Is that healing ends, right? This is this. You got some harsh thought cards because you're almost sometimes your own worst enemy because you're in your head a lot. Got a lot of sword energy of like, oh my gosh, worried about the money and the horses. I'm just being blunt. I got to figure out these horses. I got to take care of the ponies. Your big goal is to make sure everyone's provided for and cared for. And oh my gosh, how do I? It was such a concern. But as you settle down, this is you, the Queen of Wands, which is like wise, and it's almost like almost a magical person. I know you have red hair, naturally red hair, and almost like you come from like Celtic lineage, which is very psychic and very personally powerful, RH negative shit. But anyway, so, but as your healing ends, as you come to an ending of, as you move through healing from this stuff, the horse is going to come to you. I'm just thinking a real big one though. I'm not thinking little pony. I'm just getting, I'm seeing 16 hands are up.
Yep, definitely.
So that's what I'm getting. So you guys are gonna tell me if it's all BS or not, but that's so. And also, I don't necessarily predict the future. It's kind of like the available energies. There's a horse coming to you in the next 3 months.
Wow.
But it might be 4, it might be 2, but you know, I mean,
wow.
Let's see. And you can come back and go, Liz is full of it or whatever.
No, we'll in 3 months we'll do another one and we'll see.
Just take it, you'll show me your horse, right? But he's almost like he's coming to you, like it's almost the things are in motion already. And you're going to be able to have a beautiful stall for him. You're going to have him housed really well. And you're going to be able to take time for you, even trail rides, or just getting in the ring and chilling. You're lunging him with love and then hopping on, even just grooming him with great love, even taking care of the tack. I mean, in other words, I know you have employees that would do this stuff for you, but I think you're going to enjoy actually going back and just cleaning the tack, just going back to basics.
Yep. And
just grooming and even picking hooves and just go, gosh, back to like my first love, if you will.
Right.
High school cute, I call it. Like, you know, my guys always talk about You know, they want their wives to be, I just want her to be high school cute, but you're going to go back to high school cute. What do you mean by just back to your first love of horses, where instead of running a business, it's your love
I'm just gonna
or
turn
a
on my
love. That
light
makes sense.
because it's getting so dark.
Dr. Mulder, you're in the dark too. I feel like
You're in the dark.
I'm in the light.
You're in the
Step
dark,
into the light.
Dr. Mulder. You're in the dark.
Yes,
So,
I like it
He's
that
in-
way.
he's in
I
the
know, I
Frank
like
outfit.
dark. I like dark too. But Dr.
I like dark too, but I'm in my studio. Yeah. So how was that?
That was great. I loved that. You're spot on with
Ooh,
everything
ooh.
you said, and you're always spot on with everything about me. It's so like you described when we were doing that treatment,
Yeah, yeah,
you described my farm.
yeah.
It was the strangest thing.
Well, I was just led to talk like that.
Right, right. You just, I mean, you're tuned into me, but and you tune into everyone that you work with.
Well, pretty much that. That's kind of the job.
And okay, so Dr. Mulder, let's talk about how this got started. How did this get started with the Equus Radionics?
Well, with this, I've worked with other people, you know, that have different types of they do different types of energy work, and I just, you know, started making machines for them that kind of cater to their practices, and you know, I would sell them through them. Good friend of mine, Joshua P. Warren, he's kind of a big paranormal investigator. I kind of met him by it was just a strange course of events, and anyway, he and we started working together, and I built like thousands of machines, you know, and shipped them around the world with him.
And you
And
build
so,
them personally.
yes,
And I even have some that are autographed.
yes, I do that from time to time when asked. So,
Right, but how did, like, tell me how the idea for Equus Radionics came up.
well, again, I think I kind of hinted to it earlier. It was when, you know, we're having such great results with your horses, and I thought, you know,
He's
when I
not answering
realized
the question.
how did
How did it come about?
I just, oh, you mean how do I just I think we you know, you were having such great responses with it, and I said, what the heck, you know, let's see if we can
I
make
was
this thing happen.
prodding him
I know.
on this, and he was like, you know how he said, what do you say? You say, I forget.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. You know, and I was like prodding him, and I was
Right.
like, Dr. Mulder, we need to make a box for horses. And he was like, and so I mean, I did this for months, and then finally,
And then he takes all the credit.
Of course.
of course, but he's the
I'm like,
master.
of course.
I'm a man.
He'll say, but of course.
But he's the master. He's the
Such a
master.
brat. He's such a brat.
Such a brat. But I'm learning all of his remarks and noises and stuff.
Yeah, I've known him since 2014, man. I feel like I know, well, you know, as much as a friend would know, we'll put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like his sister, whose pigtails he puts in the inkwell, you know.
Yeah. I've been picking on Dr. Liz for years, so she's used to me. Yeah.
Oh, we give as good as we get back to each other.
Yeah.
picks on me too.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
thrown it. Yeah, she's thrown it at me a bunch of times. Trust me. You have to, if you're gonna pick a fight with Dr. Liz, be ready to fight. That's all I gotta say.
That's right.
All right. But yeah, and I thought it was just a great idea, and I saw what you've done, you know, developing your website, and you know, you have like a lot of IT behind this.
Yeah, I have a
getting
whole
this thing-
marketing team.
Right, exactly. And I just I like what you've done here, and I appreciate the fact that you believe enough in this product to really take this time and effort to, you know, go into it and really, you know, get it off the ground. But I love the name, number one, Equus. I don't know why. I just love that name, Equus. It's just something
Latin for
cool.
horse, exactly.
Latin for horse. And
Mhm.
I, you know, and being the functionally illiterate rube that I am, according to Dr. Liz.
No, you just can't read out loud. You're fine. You're very brilliant. You just can't read out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't
but
do math, so we're even.
yeah, I know. But
I can do math.
yeah,
Yes,
you have,
accountant over there.
you have 10 fingers total, Liz. Yeah, I just want
Really? I thought I
yeah,
had 9.
yeah, exactly.
One,
Yeah,
two,
exactly.
three.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's just I just love the name. For whatever reason, it just resonated with me. I like the way, I thought Equus Radionics. I just thought it had a great name to it. And I think it was really besides building the prototype machine, I think that was probably my greatest con, you know, con, con,
Contribution. There you go.
contribution. There you go.
He's
You
trying
see,
to talk, everybody. It's okay.
yeah, that's that functionally illiterate thing popping through again. And anyway, no, but seriously, it's just really I like the way we've able to, kind of join forces here and get this off the ground. And I love the fact that Dr. Liz is working with us on this thing because
Well, it's an
really,
honor. I didn't know it's going to be involved, but it's really an
well,
honor to be here.
you
So
see,
Oh,
well, after you know, after Horse Lady told me about some of the things that
how do I get this thing?
I gave it to you. It's stuck, and that's just the way it is. Okay, and that's just the way it is.
that's usually how it works.
It's usually how it works. And so once I gave once I discussed this with you, and I just thought it's a great combination. Having Dr. Liz there because really she's great when it comes to people and great when it comes to animals. I've seen some of the results of her work, and I just thought this would be a fantastic mix. And I agree with you, Horse Lady. You're the one I think that initially brought up the idea of bringing Dr. Liz into the scenario.
Poking.
Pardon me?
I was poking.
Poking. Yeah, and like I said, that business is your thing, and you've
Yeah.
done, and I guess
And I'm not running a farm anymore.
well, you still made money off of it. I mean, you're
Yeah,
doing
but
better.
I'm not running a farm anymore. So all of a sudden I was like, Dr. Mulder, I'm retired.
Woot, woot. You can take us all out to dinner.
Yay!
Or never mind, we can all meet for dinner. We'll just all meet for dinner.
Yeah.
We'll meet for dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm retired, but I can't be retired. I'm only 55. And so, but this came before the entire everything happens with the farm. And like this has been in the works.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that it's a great product to bring to the industry. It's kind of like MagnaWave therapy. It's
Well,
kind of like they do acupuncture,
Right, and Beth, talk
shockwave
about,
therapy.
right, sorry to interrupt, Beth. Remember you talked about how they're ahead in England? Talk about that, what they're doing in England with this stuff. They're doing this stuff in England already with horses, with this kind of
Oh,
energy.
no. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing this stuff in Europe.
It's just a little bit late here. Yeah.
And my team actually found an article about it.
Right.
And it's on the website and it's fascinating. And it's almost like, okay, so there are people that have these ideas and they don't know how to initiate them and get the business up and running. That's where I come in. And I have a lot of horse knowledge. If you know everything about horses, you shouldn't be in the horse business. But, I'm always learning about horses, but I have a lot of knowledge about horses. And so I not only Dr. Mulder's the master, but and he hasn't said that, but he is. You're kind of the top of your field, aren't you?
Well, that's why we started our show, because I wanted to make sure his information was extant, like out there. So if he comes tomorrow,
you're kind of the top of the game.
I would say I'm one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're probably the world master, at least in terms of number of boxes you've made and in running the boxes. I'm just going to go ahead and say you're probably the world master. So I wanted to get your videos out there, your information out there for what you do. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm humbled.
And when I saw how well it works, and what really surprised me was how fast it worked on animals. I think they're more sensitive than humans. I think humans kind of fight it, but the animals just feel it and they respond. And that was what, like, that was like amazing to me, like how fast it worked. And I just, I just kept asking Dr. Mulder. I even keep asking him questions. I just keep asking him questions. And, but to have an idea, but to execute it and make it a business is another thing. And I've built and sold many businesses, but I'm not selling this business. This business is not for sale. But I believe in the product, and you have to, when you sell a product, you must believe in it. And I 100% believe in it.
Right. And if my people didn't feel better when I work with them, I wouldn't do what I do. I wouldn't get paid.
They wouldn't come back.
Exactly.
They wouldn't
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like Liz, a lot of my business repeat customers.
Right.
So if the first one didn't work, why are they coming back to buy more? And
Right.
they're always up, they're always upselling. They're always buying the better, the more powerful model than they previously
The newest model. The newest.
Exactly. They're always wanting to spend the extra dollar to get the best of what I provide. And so I mean, and again, if the first one didn't work, why would you come back?
Right. Why would I have as many machines as I have?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I just find it very interesting. And like I said to Dr. Mulder, this is my theory. Let's start experimenting, let's start doing trials and let's see if it works. And I knew it was going to work, but I didn't know it was going to work that fast on horses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it works on the riders quickly too, because I mean, it's just, it's amazing. I mean, I have no idea how, I mean, I can feel vibrations coming off the machine.
And there's some people who see energy coming off of it.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Some people feel them buzzing in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
And like when I told Dr. Mulder that, he was like, yeah, some people feel it. Some people see it. Some people see smoke. Some people see, whatever. But the physics on steroids and the string theory, and
it's involving quantum superposition. It's got a lot of quantum physics going on.
There's a lot more to this. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going to this, and like Dr. Mulder builds
quantum jumping, probably like timelines. It's like all that shiz.
Yeah.
And you build
a whole other conversation, but yeah.
Yeah. But
but you build them to suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Each model is built for something.
Yeah, he builds each one with an intention. I'm talking for you,
right.
With an intention of what, and
right.
Every time he sells one, he emails the client, like, what are you thinking of, what are your intentions? And it can be used for anything, of course, but there is an initial intent, like in this case, for horses or performance with animals and things like that.
Right.
Right.
And if
you like how I'm selling you, Dr. Mulder?
Oh, I'm loving it.
And if you have a box and you put it on a horse and it performs, you can put the dials all back to 0 and you can put it on another horse.
Oh, and by the way, they age well. So like a great wine or a great scotch. So they actually get smarter and they get wiser and they get to know you and they actually perform better. It's like a fine wine.
That's one of the things I noticed. Yes, the older they get, the more powerful they become. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, have you heard a dog bark?
Oh, I'd be talking to her on the phone and that's all you'd hear. And I was just like, one time I said, okay.
You're like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Yeah. I mean, have you heard a dog bark?
No.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
This has been good. This has been good. This is good.
Yeah.
Awesome. I just want to let everyone know that we're going to work as a team. I mean, if you want to work with Dr. Liz, that's fine. If you want to work with Dr. Mulder, that's fine. If you want to work with me, that's fine.
Yeah. You can set the boxes for people too. Yeah.
Right. I can set the boxes.
I can set boxes as well, but I don't have as many as you guys.
I get a tingle when I need to.
You do. Tell us about the tingle. I'm just kidding. Tingle sounds fun. I want a tingle.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been very good this whole show. I haven't been
She hasn't,
rascally at
she
all.
hasn't had
I
a
was
tingle in
tingling.
years.
I was tingling.
No, about
Hasn't-
once a month. I'm good.
She hasn't had a tingle since the Eisenhower administration.
No, I've had plenty of tingles. It's just, I like it.
Yeah,
So,
I was tingling all week, so.
woohoo.
Woo.
Okay. La 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 la. No. Sorry, I've been really good this whole show. So.
Yeah. So anyone else have anything to add?
No,
I
I
think
think
it's
this
been
is great.
great.
I don't want to have people have too long a product to listen to. So this is
Yeah.
good. This is
Well, like I said, this is just one of many shows we'll do, in the future. Because,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do
yeah.
podcasts. I'm going to do,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a YouTube channel, so
Mhm.
sky's the limit.
Yeah, well, I think, for an introduction as to what this is all about, who the people are behind this, I think this is a good way of presenting it. And
Right.
well as bueno.
yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay,
All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
bye.
Signing off. Thanks so much, guys.
Ciao.
Namaste, baby.